Johnny Benson takes it to the inside, and he will win the drag race down the back straightaway. Benson with drafting help from Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, Jimmy Spencer, Jeff Burton going backward on the outside.
Jeff Burton falls from the lead all the way back to the 5th position, and then almost makes contact with Matt Kenseth. Inches separating their bumpers as now Burton gets back in line.
8th different leader of the night, Johnny Benson, comes to the start-finish line with Jeff Gordon, now the second-place driver behind him. Gordon started all the way back in 34th spot. Rusty Wallace to 3rd, Jimmy Spencer to 4th. They're in 1.
Benson now feels the challenge of Jeff Gordon. Gordon's right up on the bumper coming into the corner. Gordon tried to slip low. Benson blocked. So single file. They work off turn number 2. Rusty Wallace rides 3rd in line. He puts the pressure on Jeff Gordon for the 2nd spot.
Single file down the super stretch. Nobody able to make a move this time by. Johnny Benson leads the way. Gordon in 2nd. Rusty Wallace 3rd. Jimmy Spencer and Jeff Burton.
Things getting pretty intense in the lead pack. Here's Jeff Gordon. Thought about going to the outside of Benson. Gets back in line. Shuts off the advance of Rusty Wallace, who has Jimmy Spencer behind him.
Now they're racing like this is the final lap here in the Pepsi 400. Although there's going to be 49 laps remaining, Johnny Benson has grabbed the lead. Jeff Gordon rides just a car length behind him. Meanwhile, a little further back in the pack, Joe Moore, as they go to turn number 1. Guys that got boxed in with some of that lap traffic, determined to make a move and get up there in that lead draft.
Trying to close in somewhat. You got Matt Kenseth there. Dale Earnhardt making a move on him. Further back, Bill Elliott trying to pick up some ground. He works the outside lane. Mark Martin works alongside him off 2.
They began to scramble on the back straightaway now. We've got a challenge for the lead, or for a spot in the top 10, rather, as Earnhardt goes down low. Here's the battle for 2nd. Rusty Wallace diving deep on Gordon.
And Wallace's blue Ford rushes past Gordon into the 2nd spot, bringing Jimmy Spencer along with him to 3rd, and Jeff Burton claws his way back into 4th.
Rusty Wallace fell from 2nd to 40th at lap 54 after getting caught speeding, exiting pit road. He's worked his way all the way back to 2nd spot. Now with 48 laps to go, he's right behind the leader, Johnny Benson.
Johnny Benson leads the pack into the corner. Just a car length back is where Rusty Wallace sits. They're right down on the bottom lane of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. Jeff Burton rides in 3rd. Jeff Gordon has lost all kinds of ground. He's fallen back to about the 15th position, continues to lose spots.
Gordon going backwards as now Bill Elliott moves underneath him as they snake dance down the back straightaway. The battle for 3rd. Jeff Burton back to the inside. He'll overhaul Jimmy Spencer and take Dale Earnhardt with him.
And here comes Tony Stewart. Move him back into the 5th position. John Andretti picks off 2 spots in turn number 4. Andretti now up to the 6th position.
And there are more than 20 cars up in that lead pack scrambling here at Daytona in the Pepsi 400 across the line. Benson holds off Rusty Wallace. Got a strong car. Here's a challenge for 2nd place going to turn number 1.
Jeff Burton dives to the inside of Rusty Wallace, and here comes all the company with him. They all dive down low. Hook onto the bumper. Rusty left out of the outside lane all by himself. It's Burton, then Earnhardt. Tony Stewart makes the move, and John Andretti now pulls up alongside Rusty Wallace.
So long, Rusty, as he gets booted all the way back to the number 5 spot. He is still scrambling, and he is still under attack. Now it's John Andretti to the inside. 3 wide, head on into the wall is Bill Elliott. Spinning sideways, slaps the wall again. Everybody scrambling. Sterling Marlin in contact. Stacy Compton hard into the outside wall. Multi-car crash in turn number 3.
Caution is on the speedway as they race back to the start-finish line. Caution will come out at lap number 48 as the field comes across the stripe. Let's go back to turn 3.
Well, they were shuffling for position, and they got 3 wide about 2/3 of the way down the super stretch. And I believe somebody got into the right rear corner on the McDonald's Ford as Bill Elliott's car went from the middle of the racetrack, shot straight up across the asphalt, hit the inside retaining wall, spun back down to the apron, reversed field, and tagged it again on the outside. And then from there on, it was just dodgeball at 195 miles an hour.
Stacy Compton brings his car back to the pit lane with damage to the right front corner. He was the one that hit Elliott a glancing blow when Elliott came back down across the track. Compton's car picked up in the air on the left side wheels, but then came back down on the pavement as Bill Elliott climbs from his car in turn 3, throws both his hands up in the air, and then throws his arm restraints back at the window of the car, both in frustration and I'm sure extreme bitterness at having a potential winning car now sitting in a big wad in turn number 3.
Yeah, Bill was one of those cars back there that we talked about really putting on some moves and getting too wide, trying to break out of that pack of traffic with some of the lap cars and determined to get back up to the front. Now he is totally disgusted, certainly had a car that could win, and I'm sure he's going to be upset with some driver as he's working his way back over toward the ambulance right now. But We'll hope to get a report from him here in just a few moments, but he is hot. I mean, hopping mad.
Walked up on the racetrack and pointed at someone, and I couldn't quite tell whether it was Mike Skinner or Matt Kenseth or one of those cars in that group right there, but Elliott expressing some displeasure there somewhere and has now gone to the ambulance for the trip to the infield care center. Well, pit road is closed because Stacy Compton's car sits at the opening of pit lane disabled now. We're under caution with 46 laps to go in the Pepsi 400.